Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fantasy NBA Today, a sports ethos presentation brought to you by our great partners at FanDuel. My name is Aaron Bruski, and with me is a great Dr. A. And today we're going to get you guys intel from an 11-game Wednesday night and look ahead to tonight's action. It's a huge slate, Clippers and Suns, and that's it. So we'll do a lot of talking about yesterday here tonight. We'll have our top 6 must-add players of the night. We'll enter the drop zone. We'll talk about a pair of players each there. We'll add 2 more players that we like yapping about and some streamers from tonight's action. Actually, low-key, there is some pretty good streamer action tonight. So we'll talk about all of that and more. Doc, how you doing, dude?
Good. How you doing?
I'm living large, man. I had a doctor's appointment. You know, doctors are freaking intense, man. This lady was looking through my eyes and into my soul and asking lots of complicated questions that I barely had answers for.
Were her eyes black?
No, they were bright blue. It was piercing, but she was actually quite nice. And we were actually talking Wemby of all things in TOS. It was great. Not that there was any intel there, but some interesting news has hit since we talked last. So let's go ahead and get through that. We got Bam Adebayo is day to day after a foot injury. I believe it's a great toe on his left foot. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong.
Ooh, great. You said great toe, not big toe. Great.
I'm gonna blame Keston for that. I think he's the man with the accurate injury designations over here, leading the league in accuracy with left great toe sprain, but it's a big toe sprain. Maybe there's a toe that's greater than another toe. That's the great toe, like the fourth toe. I don't know. Bam Adebayo, as I continue to rhymo, has a left big toe sprain, and he is out for Friday and considered day to day. This is why we don't let you drop Khalil Ware, folks. No matter what it looks like, we do not let you drop Khalil Ware. LeBron cleared for contact, reevaluated in 1 to 2 weeks. So right on schedule-ish. I don't know, Doc, if you still got the tinfoil hat on about that one, but we'll check in on that periodically. Darius Garland got back to action last night. Bilal Coulibaly lasted just 16 minutes last night due to leg tightness. Luka, Luka, he went off last night. That was cool. Nikola Jokic had a 33-point, 15 rebound, 16 assist, triple-double with 3 steals. But actually, the guy of the night was Donovan Mitchell. What do you have, 47 points? 46 points. Donovan Mitchell hit 71% of his shots that Donovan Mitchell did. Pretty cool to beat out Nikola Jokic 33, 15, and 16 triple-doubles. So good job, Donnie Mitchell.
Hey, Brew. Can we talk about Jokic for a second?
Sure. By all means. Let's go.
So I wrote the Risers and Fallers column for ESPN today. And
you talk to him
Victor
about
Wembanyama has been – what's that?
Nothing. Did you talk to him about box scores?
Not yet. Okay. Victor Wemby has been terrible for 2 games in a row, and Jokic has been amazing all season. If there was ever a time for someone to try to trade for Victor Wembanyama, it's right now. He's had 2 rough shooting nights. He fouled out last night. The numbers, while they're still fine, in Wemby's world, they're not good. Especially when you compare what he's done the last couple of games to what Jokic is doing. If you drafted Jokic and you sort of wish you had Wemby, now's the time to try.
It's pretty wild what's going on at the top of fantasy leagues right now. It's almost probably unprecedented, and I think we've been desensitized to it a little bit. But Jokic, the clear number 1 in fantasy leagues right now. Luka, number 2.
Oh,
Luka is just freaking. He's tossing out. He's averaging 40 points a game right now. 11 rebounds, 9 assists, almost a triple double there. 2 steals, almost 80% from the foul line. He's having a peak Luka season. He just can't get up and overmount Jokic there. And Victor Wembanyama, 26-13 with 4 blocks and pretty damn good percentages. And
how many
it's
threes?
not just
he's only at 1-3
game. It's only 1-3, but I'll take that. It's the efficiency versus the 3-point shooting question. But Tyrese Maxey up there, just hanging around the top 4. Shea's right kind of there. It's like Shea's having a normal elite season of 33 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, and 2.1 defensive stats, 4.1 cash counters, and great percentages, 90% from the foul line and 10 shots a game. He can't get a sniff of the top 4 here. Tyrese Maxey, 41 points per game. Oh, pardon me, 33.5 points per game, 41 minutes per game, and all sorts of goodies after that. There's just an explosion of high-end performers right now. Kawhi actually hanging out there on a per-game basis, doing his thing. Austin Reeves, Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry. So you know what? Hey, I'm going to take my wins in the B150 column because I got to take a couple L's here later, and I'm slow marching to the end of the plank with that.
So Kawhi Leonard sat out on Tuesday.
Yeah, he shouldn't have played 40 minutes, huh?
And we were like, oh, it's a second end of a back-to-back. They're just load managing him. And now he's out tonight. That is not a back-to-back situation. So what is going on? We don't know. If you drafted Kawhi Leonard and you're sitting on him and you feel like you're sitting on a ticking time bomb, wait for him to come back and play a couple games because he's balling when he plays, man. And he hasn't missed time this year except these last 2 games. So let him get hot again and move him.
Yeah, that was a bad call. He should not have played 40 some odd minutes in that game. Which that's a whole discussion. Like why did they let him do it? Why is he doing it? Why not just play 30? Like, if you got problems with your body, just play 30, dude. Like, it's all good. You'll just, hang out and play more games. But apparently he really, really wanted that one. I think that's it for the news of the day. Let's pivot into the must-haves. Before we do that, though, guys, you might have noticed that, like, you got to watch the NBA in, like, 10 different places now, and streaming platforms and, like, YouTube and all the different things, Twitter or X, like, it's super complicated, and also you just never know what one platform is going to do. So you kind of have to be on all of them these days. So make sure if you're watching this on Twitter that you head on over to YouTube, subscribe, youtube.com/sportsethos, subscribe here at Twitter at Ethos Fantasy NBA. Make sure that you're just locked into all the different stuff because we're putting content out on all the different platforms to see which one of these guys survives. I think that'll do it for promo. Doc, who are your must-add players of the night? Give me 3 of them.
Yeah, I was gonna give a shout out to Moses Moody before I did that.
Shout out.
He went off.
He's been damn good.
For a couple games, he's been balling, and it helps that all his teammates are out and whatnot. I had him in my FanDuel lineup. FanDuel. This show is brought to you by FanDuel.
FanDuel.
I had him in my FanDuel lineup last night, and he won my game for me because Wemby didn't really do much. Anyway, Moses Moody, I don't know what his rostership percentage is. I don't know why I didn't write him down as an ad. Maybe his percentage was too high. I don't know. All right. Here is my list of 3. And then I've got a sub list of about 10 more guys. All with very low ownership that are available in a ton of leagues. But the 3 I'm going to go with right now are Marcus Smart, 17 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, a steal, a block, a 3. Started alongside Luka. Now, Austin Reeves was not playing. So when Austin Reeves is there, Smart may or may not come off the bench, but I just feel like he's sort of begun to integrate himself into the Lakers lineup with his defense. I think Redick likes having him out there. So I think Smart is a smart play right now. And then your guy, Josh Minot, I just stole your pickup of the day. 21 points, 5 boards, 3 steals, 3 threes, 16% rostered. Minot's going to be up and down, man. We've already seen it this whole season, and that's the way he rolls. That's the way it's going to be for now. But on the nights when he's good, he's really good. And then Yusuf Nurkic might be the pickup of the day. 6 points, 17 boards, 4 assists, 4 steals, and a block. He has 4 assists in 2 straight games, I believe. He's 29% rostered. When the news about Walker Kessler came out, Brew, you and I talked a lot about Kyle Filipowski and a little bit about Nurkic, but until Nurkic is no longer the starting center, I think he's the guy that you want.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Like the Filipowski train crashed, rolled off the side of the hill, and I don't want to say it's dead to me. I think there's going to be a pivot in Utah, and it's just a when question. And also, by the way, Yusuf Nurkic doesn't really stay healthy all that often. So this is a Yusuf Nurkic now, probably Kyle Filipowski later, but several teams in the league, but especially this Utah team, the health of their box score is garbage right now. And everybody, pardon me, on the back end of that is getting completely annihilated. Kyle Filipowski, Taylor Hendricks, you name it. They're just getting crushed. So probably waiver wire time for Kyle Filipowski in a lot of formats. 10 teamers for sure. 12 teamers. I think you probably have license to do that. I'm more of a kind of a stash person, and Doc, you're more of a cut 'em person. Like you're cutting Kyle Filipowski, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he played 20 minutes, and if he's going to get 20 or 25 minutes every night, he's not going to be as bad as he was last night. So to me, the 20 minutes was maybe a positive sign.
And this is the pivot that I'm talking about. Like something's wrong with their box score. It's the way that they're deploying everybody. It's something having to do with Keontae getting a big role and Laurie being out there. And Laurie's just gunning for it right now. Laurie, a first-round asset right now. And then Nurkic could also be one of those key elements that's shifting the box score around. And but regardless, he's the guy right now. So he's the must add of the group. And Kyle Filipowski, it's like if he's getting 20 minutes and he's in the box score is healthy, I think he could be fine. But when the box score is not healthy, as it is the case, it's been all season for all 8 games, I don't think this is good.
I don't know.
But we know last year he was a top 50 guy for a very long time, and those are hard to come by.
Well, I think we need to wait a week and let 3 or 4 games without Kessler happen, and then
that's a good point right there.
And then see where we are, because if he's still getting 20 minutes without Walker Kessler and he's not doing anything, then it's time to move on. But we've only seen 1 or 2 games with Kessler down. I think that's the right number. I don't know.
The early part of the season is great. I love this stuff.
I think patience might be.
That's good, man. Because I'm going to be patient with Kyle Filipowski. I'm fine with it. Like, especially in a head-to-head setting. Like, I know I'm going to make the playoffs in almost any league I play. I'm going to try to stash for the playoffs. Like, that's the strategy there. And in the roto setting, I'm even willing to wait and see how this all pans out. And there's some eligibility kind of settings differences in the leagues I play, or 200 player leagues a little bit deeper. So at any rate, I'm fine with stashing Filipowski, but if somebody out there's got a cut him theory, I completely understand where you're coming from on that. You mentioned, who are your other 2 guys? That was Moody and Smart.
No, it was Minot, Nurkic, and Marcus Smart.
That's right. Moody's a top 75 guy right now in 9 cat leagues on the season on the basis of the last 2 big games, which is great. I do think he's passed the Steve Kerr kind of test over the last couple of years. So he'll be on the periphery when they're healthy looking in. But just kind of footnote this, when one of the players goes down, it might be Moses Moody who's going to step in and provide you standard league value and a good start. Those numbers 9%. Are going to fade. Yeah,
9% roster.
Virtually identical stat lines in 2 games. It was he, not Buddy Hield, who got the big night. I felt like any recommendation I made yesterday was terrible. I just want to throw that out there. What do we got?
Like my Vooch call against Joel Embiid in Philadelphia the other day.
I know the people think I get every call right, laugh track. But it's like there are nights, it doesn't matter who you are, where it's just everything feels like it's falling apart, and you just like kind of gotta just like let that slide. With Marcus Smart, to bring it back to ad talk, he's getting a ton of minutes. He's still outside of the 150 for the year, so that's a little disconcerting. But I saw what you saw. Is they're really comfortable with Marcus Smart, and I'm curious if that's the right call. But if he's going to be out there and getting minutes, it's possible the fantasy value might follow. So interesting stuff there. And your other Josh Minot, he's good. I think he's a must roster. It's going to be bumpy, so you got to just get used to the bad and the good. And he had a play last night where Missoula was in his ear, like so bad, like he was chewing him out. And it's just going to be like that for at least the first half of the season. It's going to be up and down for Josh Minot, is what it seems. On my list, I got, let's see here. I think I'll go with somebody that I think everybody probably knows about right now and is perennially overdrafted and perennially overrated, is Russell Westbrook. 23 points, 16 boards, 10 assists. Guys were out all over the place last night in this game. They really let Russ be Russ. And to Russ's credit, it was a pretty good version of Russ. Like, he's just out there doing Russ stuff. It's like he hasn't lost a step from last year. And now he can just go out there in a team that really wants him out there and is appreciating the energy that he brings to the table. It's going to be a classic live by the Russ, die by the Russ thing for the Kings. And then when players get back, the numbers will come back a little bit. But I kind of think at this point, especially in 8 category leagues, he will not drop below the cut line all season long. And eventually this will almost become his team. He'll be the team leader in Sacramento, and that'll just be funny and a little bit cool, because I like Russ for all the weird things he does on the basketball court. I just like somebody who cares that much about the game and cares about playing hard and just cares in general. So Russell Westbrook must roster, in my opinion.
He's 39% roster.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Especially after last night. I thought everybody'd be picking him up after last night. That was a monster triple-double. And did you see he became the all-time leader in rebounds for guards? He passed Jason Kidd last night.
I did not, but it doesn't surprise me at all. I did see some talk out of Sacramento. They're ready to crown him in Sacramento. They were calling him if you hold for the rings discussion and you control for like 3 other things, statistically, he's like the best point guard ever. And that made Sacramento happy. Yeah. Khalil Ware, I think, is not an ad, but I just wanted to shout out his 13 points, 13 boards, 4 steals, and 1 block, and just kind of really reinforce like Khalil Ware cannot be dropped. If I was to go my top 3, I want to talk Derek Queen. 26 minutes, 11 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, 3 steals. Is he just going to be a stat guy on a bad team that paid a ton to get him? And it just doesn't matter if he's good or not?
Is that a rhetorical question, Brew?
I was actually hoping for some guidance. You're my doctor. I'm here. I'm standing here trying to get some medical advice.
Unlike your doctor, I'm not smart and looking through your soul. I like blizzards. I like Dairy Queen. I don't know much about Derek Queen because I don't have him on any rosters. I know that pre-draft season, before I think he got hurt at some point during the summer, didn't he? And then he's healthy again.
Yep.
Before he got hurt, I was kind of feeling Derek Queen. I was kind of intrigued, and then he got hurt, and then I stopped, or I just forgot about him. So I don't really have any answers for you, Brew.
What? I honestly, I've watched the film so much. I don't think he's going to be good. But the minute I put him, in the drop zone, way below the drop zone, he's just getting stats again, and it just feels like this could be a really big deal in fantasy leagues, especially like say last third of the season. if they're losing and they're going to toss Derek Queen out there for 30 minutes a game and he's going to pop off with like 15 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and some defensive stats, then like that's going to be pretty important. And at the same time, Zion comes back and, Derek Queen kind of goes back to the waiver wire a little bit. I think there's just a ton of variance here in this discussion. And I think I'm leaning towards bad player, good stats is the projected outcome here. And so definitely flyer territory. It's like, how much do you want to rank him above that is my question for him.
This Zion injury obviously impacts Derek Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And Zion's out for like 10 days. Shocking news there. Anthony Davis has missed 3 games. Zion's out for 10 days. And we have yet to see LeBron and who's the other one? Kawhi Leonard is now out. Everybody's out. James Harden's out tonight. But Zion being down and Yves Missi being day-to-day, I mean, that's huge news for Derek Queen. If those guys are healthy in the current state that this team is in, the New Orleans Pelicans, then Queen has a harder road to success. But if Zion's out, I think Derek Queen and Sadiq Bey just do whatever they want. So, yeah,
that was another one.
I'm intrigued.
Sadiq Bey, 22 points, 4 triples, 9 rebounds. It feels like he might will himself to some fantasy value this season. Like he kind of does all the time. When he was in Detroit, just willed himself to fantasy value. Atlanta willed himself to fantasy value. Here we are again. Sadiq Bey, super serious injury and back producing.
3% rostered over at Yahoo.
New Orleans could spin any direction. I mean, Jordan Poole's missing time right now. So, I mean, that's the reason some of these numbers are big and these numbers are going to come back. And I think the question I have is, can these guys do well enough now? And then so to have the momentum, and then these guys come back and somehow they can sustain the momentum. They've earned some role, so to speak. They've earned some pecking order. And that probably in that little zone right there determines if they're going to be a good long-term ad or if they're more of a week-long stream or something like that. I think I want to toss Ron Holland's name out here again. The old Ron Holland, 9.6 boards.
7% rostered.
Yeah. It's 2 steals, 1 block, 4 assists, I believe. The numbers are just there, guys. They're just slowly there, and anything happens ahead of him, and he can, heaven forbid, get 26, 27, 28 minutes per game, and I think he'll be more of a top 75 guy. But right now, you can get him as like a top 100 to 125 guy, and that doesn't play everywhere, and it's uncomfortable because the minutes are low, and it doesn't quite pop because some of that value does come from percentages, but it's there. And I like the player. I like the trajectory.
He did not have a 0 in his box score last night. 9, 6, 4, 2, 1, 1.
Are you dialing phone numbers? Let's talk drop zone. Let's go to the drop zone, Doc. You told me you had an extensive list of drops tonight.
No, my extensive list is pickups. So can I just quickly mention
would you like to? Oh, sure. Yeah. Knock yourself out.
AJ Mitchell, another good game started. 31% rostered. AJ Mitchell. I've talked
ads,
about him.
By the way.
What's that?
These are ads. And which you should give the people what they want.
These are ads. AJ Mitchell. And then Terrence Mann had another good game. 15 points, 6 assists, triple, 2 steals. His season numbers are okay. He plays for the Brooklyn Nets. They're terrible. He's 12% rostered. Noah Clowney, Brew. We had a Noah Clowney sighting last night. 17 points and 4 boards with 2 threes. His previous game was 15 and 6 with 2 steals and 4 threes. Is Noah Clowney happening?
I don't think so. It's possible. It's totally possible.
Anything's possible in Brooklyn, dude.
That's the thing. It's like I think we're going on a full year, and then dating back to last year, somebody would be valuable, and like the only one that could pull it off was Zaire Williams. He was barely valuable. Everybody else just floated around. Somebody was good. Somebody was good.
Keep your eye on Clowney. Clowney's been good for 2 games in a row. Trendon Watford had a good game last night. Somebody asked me about him in the Q&A with Dr. A yesterday, which was a blast. And I was like, no, man, I don't think Trendon Watford's going to do anything. And then he had 16 points, 3 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 threes for the Nets last night. What a mess that team is.
He's sneaky. He's sneaky, that Trendon Watford. Like he might actually be the guy that scoots through there.
Yeah, and I think just watching the Nets box scores every day and tracking trends is the way to go to try to figure out, is it Terrence Mann? Is it Trendon Watford? Is it Clowney? Jeremy Sohan, I believe, made his debut last night. Is that am I correct, Brew?
Sure feels like it.
16 points, a 3, hit 6 to 7 shots.
That is correct, sir.
10% rostered. Sohan was active and looked good for the Spurs. So I would say put him on your watch list. Andre Drummond with no Joel Embiid. 13 points, 13 boards, a steal, and 2 blocks. He is Adem Bona's hero because Adem Bona started, yet Drummond sort of wipes the floor with Bona right now.
I was waiting for so much more there. So disappointed.
Jalen Tyson plays for who he played for? Cavaliers?
Oh, yeah.
10 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, a block, 2 threes, 6% rostered. I've picked up Tyson in our 18-man deep league that we're in, Brew. I've had him for about a week now. He's been playing good. I've mentioned him a couple of times. Sadiq Bey, we talked about him. 3% rostered. He's got 22, 9, and 4 triples. I like Sadiq Bey right now. Jose Alvarado, I don't have his numbers, had another good game. And
like 13 and 7 off the top of my head.
Those are the rest of my guys to add.
Yeah, no, the Alvarado one caught my eye because he can put up value quick. Like he could get up to like 125, 100, and in 20 minutes. If they give him roll, it could be fun. But he usually injures himself, and that's the bummer part about it. Aaron Wiggins, I forgot to mention Aaron Wiggins. He had 27 points last night. I felt that was like my one good call last night. I think
he balled.
Was that he had been quiet lately, and then he was not so quiet in this last one. Anybody else? You mentioned Drummond. I think that's interesting. He might be the actual Sixers backup center to own.
Oh man,
that's that noise. No, we'll talk about that in the drop zone. I think we're about to enter that drop zone.
Yeah, let's.
Before we enter the drop zone, I want to say hello to our new listeners. I forgot to do that earlier. I'm trying to be a better show host and be a more welcoming host in general. Come on over to Sports Ethos Fantasy NBA today. Have a beer, sit down, chill, sit on my couch, watch some games with Doc.
Dude, a ton of questions yesterday for the Dr. A Q&A.
I heard about that. That was good.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing that every Wednesday. So after this show, you'll get to ask Doc whatever you want. It'll be great. Drop zone. So do you have anybody in the drop zone?
I do. I also, Brew, I got a couple of questions I got yesterday were, what's my favorite concert I've ever attended? That was fun.
While I remind listeners that this is not today after the show, this is next Wednesday. I think I perked Andre's ears up. He was probably multitasking on 10 things. And his ears went, no, that's next week. That's Wednesday, not after this show. But what is your favorite concert?
Oh, I told a little story about REM.
Nice.
They can go check it out. They can go find that feed. It's from yesterday. I've got our guy Cam Johnson did it again, 9 points. Like, what is happening? I thought his biggest problem was health, like staying healthy. But apparently his biggest problem is he sucks.
Yeah. Maybe not. He's an NBA basketball player, but he doesn't suck. But right now he sucks in fantasy.
CJ McCollum, what are you doing, sir? Less than 22 minutes, I believe, in 3 straight games. They've all been blowouts. I think he's part of the blowout factor.
Before we get past CJ McCollum and his 10% field goal, what are you doing with Cam?
Luckily, I don't have him anywhere.
Let's assume you had him.
If I had him, I would want to cut him, but I think it would be hard to pull the trigger on that because I know he's better than what he's shown. But Aaron Gordon popped again last night. And as long as Aaron Gordon is balling out for that team, I think it shuts the door on Cam. So I would drop Cam to pick up Nurkic right now.
I had the same thought looking at the Aaron Gordon line. It feels like something changed there where Aaron Gordon maybe has more license after last year's great playoff performance and all of the playing through pain and like it just rose up the pecking order to be able to be a more utilized offensive player, and Cam as the new guy. It really does feel like the shift might be right there, and everybody else is in their lane doing all the same stuff. And Cam Johnson's just sitting there watching everybody play basketball and not getting a stat. I personally would drop him. I would drop him. And I play deeper leagues. I would probably drop him in the 200-player leagues that I'm in and try to get somebody with higher upside. That's a little scary, but that's probably what I would do. You were mentioning after that CJ McCollum. Are you dropping CJ McCollum?
No, I have not dropped him yet, but I am highly, highly concerned. That team's getting blown out every night. He's playing 20 minutes every night. He's not putting up numbers. It's Washington, right? And he's a veteran on that team. They've rolled with veterans in the past, but I really don't know what CJ's role is going to be with that team. Once the new year gets here. So I'm very concerned about CJ McCollum. I'm not cutting him because he's CJ McCollum, but I'm not happy with him. We'll leave it at that. And then
go ahead. Yeah, but the question I have about CJ is, did he finally lose a step and he can't get his numbers in the flow of like a bad offense or bad basketball game? Because he's been able to do that in New Orleans and do it fairly well for the most part. And then in Washington, you only got a couple offensive engines there, like Alex Sarr has played well this season, but I don't think he's generating offense for anybody else. Keyshawn George, absolutely. He's an offensive engine, but after that, the list gets really kind of fuzzy, really, really quick. Like Bub Carrington's not developing offense for other people. He's getting a lot of minutes. Chris Middleton is not generating offense for other people. So is this a systemic long-term issue, or is it CJ just kind of, I don't care. I'll get it going in a month, and then I'll get traded somewhere else, and I'll play serious basketball in April or something.
He's literally only had one good game this season, and that was against Charlotte when he had 24, 6, and 5. His minutes for the first 3 games of the season were 33, 30, and 40. His minutes for the last 4 games are 24, 22, 22, and 18 minutes. He has scored single digits in points in 4 of his 8 games this year. Like, that's not CJ McCollum, man. He's hit 3 out of 19 shots over his last 2 games.
What I would do is this. I would not drop him right now because players, especially shooting guards, though he's not really as a combo, but like the ups and the downs, they're real. And especially as you get lower in the pecking order of the league, I think pecking order is the word of the day. There's an associated bounce back here, and I don't think you're going to want to miss that. So you can it might suck a little bit. You might take a week or 2 here, take a loss on this position here, but it's okay. Like, you kind of did your due diligence at that point, and you might get the associated bounce back. You might find that this asset is actually a top 100 asset going forward, and they might give him the car keys if they pivot that direction. But it certainly feels like they're kind of maybe going to pivot to the kids a lot sooner than people thought. That would be good for business, I think. Who else you got in the drop zone?
That's about it. I was going to talk about Koulibaly. I honestly didn't realize he got injured last night. He was in my FanDuel lineup, and that was a disaster. He had almost nothing in his 16 minutes. And then Desmond Bane remains in the drop zone. He's trapped in the drop zone, much like people get trapped in the twilight zone. I mean, Bane, I don't know, man. I just don't know, Brew. I don't know that they played last night. That's maybe why I didn't have it written down. But
the one thing I don't think they did, but the one thing about Bane is it's really public right now, even in a small market in Orlando. It's really public that he's having a terrible season. And this usually generates an internal discussion. Hey, we got to get this guy the ball. And I wonder when, and we talked about this, so I'll try to keep it quick. Like, I wonder when Paolo Banchero gets the memo that if you get a bunch of good numbers and everybody else doesn't, that generally just doesn't work for basketball teams long term. So we will see if that happens. But Bane was really frustrated the other night, getting ejected, throwing the basketball. I think it was at Onyeka Okongwu. He kind of fouled him on a fast break and then added a little something with the ball at the end. I just think he's frustrated. And obviously the numbers would be the thing that he's frustrated with.
Well, and Orlando gave up 4 unprotected first-round picks.
They bet their entire future on him. I would be pissed too if I'm not getting the ball, or I'm getting the ball in bad positions, or I'm forced to play point guard and that's not really my game. And I'm not like, it's like one thing if I play point and I then also get a pass back from you, that would be great. I just think Paolo Banchero for years, his entire time in the league, has not been, despite the higher assist totals, has been a guy with some blinders on, and it's just bad for business when you play like that. Okay, let's get to Adem Bona. Look, we've covered this angle extensively, and he's sort of just now a luxury stash, and he is just clearly out of the box score. There's got to be like a term for that other than out of the box score. You see this with players and you're like, oh, they're out of the box score. Nobody's passing to them. They're running up and down the floor and avoiding the basketball at all costs. That's kind of what Adem Bona feels like right now. And at the same time, they still love him on the court. They still think that, in Philly, they want him to get minutes instead of Joel Embiid in crunch time and all the things. And then you go to the Andre Drummond angle on this. It's hilarious. He can't get away from the basketball. The basketball just finds him, points, rebounds, defensive stats. I think the answer to this is the guy to roster for production now is Drummond. Bona is like a long-term play in belief in a player who's demonstrated a certain stat production in the past that's really mechanical, but he can't be a guy that runs away from the basketball. He can't be a guy that fouls out. He can't be, a guy that never sets screens. If those things stay true, and I really do think Philly is just kind of in stage 1 of figuring out who they are and what they are. And it's going to be kind of the guards that hash it out first. And then the next priority is going to be Joel Embiid and Paul George. Whatever happens with these guys and however this thing pivots, Bona being a part of their future definitely makes them a more dangerous basketball team. So with all of that, my original plan with this was to see it out for 3 or 4 weeks. I will see it out for 3 or 4 weeks, kind of independent of these results, and I won't have them in lineups. I'll be pushed into some hard add drop decisions on this, but you got to kind of look at the first month of the season with a little bit of skepticism, whatever it is that you're seeing. I mean, if we rewind a couple games back, VJ Edgecombe was invincible, and he's starting to fall back, probably because some of the larger minute totals that he's gotten. So that sell high, by the way, was a great call. So that's my take on Bona, and eventually I'm probably even going to stop talking about him in the drop zone, because the situation, if it doesn't change, it's just going to be the same thing. And I'll let you all know when I finally get sick of it. Who else? It's a lot of B150 guys that require attention here. Reed Shepherd. Had a decent
points.
Yeah, he had a decent little night. Even the highlights, that it seems like there's a cottage industry for showing Reed Shepherd screw ups on Twitter. He had a 4-on-1 in which every player was doing something dumb. he proceeded to do something dumb, got the ball back and made a three. So everybody was quite happy with that outcome, but they like to make fun of him. But 12 points, 2 threes, 2 steals, 71% of his shots. So he hit in his 17 minutes, he did his job. I think I'm still in hold territory here. And I want to see what shoe drops in Houston next, because they're playing Steven Adams intermittently, and they're playing Josh Okogie quite a bit. It doesn't feel sustainable. You also have Tari Eason playing heavy minutes and not necessarily being able to play every night. There's these three things kind of like tell me, like, at some point you do got to play this guy, right? Like, at some point you do got to prioritize this guy, right? The Rockets are, what's their record right now? I believe they're 5-3, maybe 5-2, 5-2. So right now things are going well for them. The minute they hit a patch of adversity, it'll be interesting to see what they do to prioritize this player. But right now it's looking like late round value is like the top, the ceiling for Reed Shepherd. So we need to see something change there. And we probably need to see it relatively soon, probably. Unlike Bona, where it's kind of a blind stash where you're hoping for some sort of big change. I think with Reed Shepherd, we probably got to see something substantial within like a week or two to at least raise his profile. Like I'm fine if you want to hold him and hope you get late round value. I think that's coming. It's just like, are you gonna hold him with the idea he's going to be a mid round guy? That I need to see proof of in the next like week or two. Any thoughts on Reed Shepherd, Doc?
I mean, it makes sense that he's getting squeezed. There's so much talent, young talent on that team. And you added Kevin Durant to it. I just don't. I feel like Udoka really likes the way Okogie plays, and
his size.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Shepherd unless somebody gets hurt. I think he needs an injury to almost anyone, and I think it gives him a boost.
That's the other thing going here. You got Kevin Durant, who's old, is going to need some time off, has been injured lately. Not so much, Şengün or Jabari, but Eason. Okogie has had some health issues in the past. And so it just feels like something's got to give here for these guys. But at the same time, they got to believe in their guy. And it just doesn't seem like they're prioritizing this. Anyway, I'm about a week or two off on Reed Shepherd as well. Who else is in the drop zone to talk about? I think we covered Kyle Filipowski. I got Daniel Gafford in the drop zone, even though he's playing extraordinarily well. 15 points, 8 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks, but the cavalry could be coming back soon. So, I mean, you probably see this out until you have to drop. But if you got somebody in the aforementioned must adds and, you're hanging on to Gafford, I think you might pull the trigger. Isaiah Jackson followed up his big game with 8 points and 7 boards, 1 steal, no blocks, 20 minutes. Jay Huff might have been the better play, 16 points, 4 threes, 2 rebounds, which is terrible. 2 blocks, though, in his 18 minutes. So we got a little bit of the pendulum swinging back toward Huff in this game. And then the Jackson heat after the big game is officially quenched, right? Like, are we excited about Isaiah Jackson now? Like, did this kill all momentum for him?
I mean, I wasn't excited about him even when he had the one good game. He's just a boring player to me. I don't get it. I don't understand how he's a starting center in the NBA.
It's rough. I mean, they should have done it 2 years ago. That would have made a lot more sense. All right. What do we have? Well, actually, before we get into, we'll do a little potpourri here at the end of this show. What about Huff? I forgot about that guy.
I mean, I looked at his box score last night, just like you did. And I was like, oh, Jay Huff. You and I both know if Jay Huff gets minutes, he's gonna put up stat lines. And they're so banged up. He should be playing reasonable minutes. I think he's a better player than Jackson is.
I do too. And in the preseason, watching them move around, it felt like Huff actually had him on athleticism. And if you got him on athleticism and 3-point shooting and shot blocking, like, why are you not playing? But then we got into the season and the speed of the game looked like it was too fast for both of them. So, maybe some conditioning issues. That's another thing with the first couple of weeks of the season that's really interesting. Some players use those first 2 weeks to get conditioned. Some of them don't have a choice. They're just by the nature of this thing, whether it's injuries or old age or mileage or whatever, they're using the first 2 weeks to get going. Some players are going full bore right off the jump, trying to establish themselves, and other guys are just knowing that the slow and steady wins the race. And that's why you see some really crazy splits in the first month compared to the second month and the third months and so on. So each NBA season has its chapters, and we're going to see what the trends are after the first chapter. But let's move it along. I'm going to blend all of our segments into a potpourri column because we've talked about a lot of our guys. We've got some streamer action here for a 1-game Thursday night. Let's get into the streamer side of it, though. We got the Clippers at the Suns. Who do you like out of this 1-game bonanza?
I like. Well, we didn't talk about all my guys, by the way. Jaime Jaquez had another good game. Enjoy that while it lasts. I think when Tyler Hero comes back, he's in trouble. And my guy, Khalil Ware, big numbers, big game. He finally got some minutes. I'm just praying that our boy Spoelstra is going to start playing him. As far as streamers goes, there's only 2 games tonight. There's only 1 game. 2 teams are playing. Harden's out. Kawhi's out. Jalen Green expected to return this evening. So
this is low-key interesting.
What does that do to your boy Colin Gillespie? Like, I'm super intrigued to see what that does to Gillespie tonight. So
my concern level, my concern level on a 1 to 10 is like at a 4 with this. Because I think I recognize that there's going to be about 2 weeks here where it's going to be slow. But like, I want to say it was his last game. I wonder if I can pull that up for Gillespie. Gillespie's like a top 60 fantasy value on the season, so it's been pretty good for him, but the minutes are quite low. So what's the story with his minutes after this? And I just taking all of the information in from all the Suns beat writers, it feels like they acknowledge he's a part of their offense going forward, like especially with the second unit. He's a second unit offensive engine for them. He's getting 25 minutes per game right now, top 55 value in 9-cat formats, 11 points, 3 triples, 3.5 boards, 5 assists, 2.1 combined defensive stats, and 43% shooting from the field, 80% from the foul line. Mwah, I love that. Can they find 24 minutes for this guy? It feels like that's a yes. Like that feels like a yes. So, okay, like let's say they just are punitive and they go, Colin, you're an 18-minute guy now. It feels like they get him the ball enough, and that this might look like 125 value for a couple weeks until Grayson Allen gets hurt. I pray that doesn't happen, but somebody gets hurt. And it could be almost anybody, and you find a way to get minutes back. Now let's play devil's advocate. Say Dylan Brooks comes back and things get really tight. And Dylan Brooks likes the basketball. He likes to have it in his hands, take it home. Jalen Green obviously loves to have the basketball in his hands. Maybe it gets a little dicey. 18 minutes for Colin Gillespie, top 150 value. I would be ready to pounce, though, the minute that guy gets dropped in any circumstance, because I don't think Phoenix is trying to bring anybody in, to kind of replace him. Like, I just see his trajectory is going straight up. And so these are just temporary roadblocks. So I'm at a 4, maybe a 3 after that whole speech I just gave. I'm at a 3 on a 1 to 10. All right.
So my streamers tonight, I've got everybody who's not a superstar: Chris Dunn, Derek Jones Jr., Johnny Collins, Bogey Bogdanovich, Nick Batum will probably start. And then on the Suns side, you got Jalen Green. He's probably rostered, but just make sure he's not. Colin Gillespie, Ryan Dunn, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, all of those guys. I mean, you stream anyone you can from this game tonight.
It certainly sets up well on the Clippers side with Kawhi and James Harden out, and even Bradley Beal kind of being a shell of himself. And like Brook Lopez had 4 3-pointers in his last game. Not saying we should run out and add him for anything other than streaming purposes, but good job,
Brookie. Has Bradley Beal done anything?
No.
Okay.
Just a hard no. Nick Batum on a night like this, on a 1-game night, is this thing televised? I don't know what platform it would be on. But 1 game usually will bring people, kind of the veterans, to the table. Chris Paul could have a good night. John Collins could kind of have a little mini breakout in this one. Derek Jones has been good all season long. So it's a target rich environment. It's the Phoenix side that you got when you bring a big player back in. It's always just a little jarring, and it creates hecticness for that team. So the public thinks it's a good thing that Jalen Green is back. But in reality, they all got to figure out how to play with each other. Suns -2.5 on FanDuel. Clippers +2.5. I love the injured star theory here with the Clippers.
Both of those, Brew, by the way, are -110.
Oh, thank you. Now, accuracy and accountability is everything. I got Clippers +2.5 in Phoenix.
I like the Clippers getting points. It's at Phoenix. Jalen Green's back. They're probably fired up about that. But the Clippers, and the Clippers don't have Kawhi, and they don't have.
Is it like a 40-minute flight from LA to Phoenix? It's like 40 minutes on an airplane.
I think
they're getting treated like the road team. You're gonna go with the Suns? Are we gonna bet it? All right, what are we gonna bet on this?
A burrito.
A real burrito. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do this. You DoorDash it. I don't want a burrito, by the way. I'm gaining weight and I need to lose pounds. I'll figure out a healthy. You can send me like.
You want a tofu burrito?
Maybe.
How about some ramen? How about some noodles?
Okay, I'll do that. I want you to DoorDash me ramen noodles if and when the Clippers win this game, or the plus. I want those points, the +2.5 at FanDuel. Doc, I think we covered it all. Is there anybody else that you'd like to talk about in the NBA?
I think it's incredible what my guy Luka Doncic is doing. He's everything we thought he was going to be when he was on the cover of Men's Health. I don't know if Luka's good enough to single-handedly lead a team to a championship, but he almost did it with Dallas a couple of years ago. And he's got the Lakers at 7-2 without LeBron. I don't think people saw that coming. And he's 4-0 against Wemby. He beat Wemby again last night. Wemby was not great. And every time I play Luka and Wemby together in FanDuel or in that league, that auction league where I drafted both of them, I just run people out of the gym. So Luka had 35, 9 boards, 13 dimes, 5 steals, 2 blocks, 4 threes. That's sick.
Yeah, both you and Rick are looking real good on your Luka takes.
7-2, the Lakers.
That's beautiful stuff right there. I don't have anything else for you guys. I think we covered it all. A big thank you to Andre Lamouche, our producer, for keeping us on track, making sure that we do all the things we're supposed to do. Doc, great show as well. Big shout out to the content team. The cheat sheet is all of that and a bag of fat. Tech team released new stuff on the Blurb feed. You guys got to check that out. It is so cool. You can isolate who the must ads are. You can isolate who the buy lows are. You can isolate the sell highs, and on and on. This is really a big deal, guys. We're going to be doing a lot of this stuff here, and it's going to make your lives so much easier. And that's the whole idea. Like, platforms are kind of confusing and suck right now, like social stuff. We want to bring the action away from that and keep it super easy for you guys and add all sorts of value. So go check out the Blurb feed on sportsethos.com. Consider a membership. There's all sorts of fun stuff there, and an app that you can just hit a button and get all the latest news and get all sorts of stats as well. So lots of cool stuff going on here at the website. That's going to do it for us. Check out the box score breakdown tonight. I believe that's running tonight after the one game, but correct me if I'm wrong, Andre, because it's only a one game night. We'll get an answer on that here in a quick second. We will be back tomorrow.
You asked where this game was playing tonight. It is on NBA TV at 9 p.m.
NBA TV. That's simple. I can do that.
You can do it.
I don't need a thing, a subscription to a thing. I can just go onto the TV and I can hit a button and I can watch that.
Right.
Box score breakdown later tonight, and then tomorrow we'll be back with more fantasy NBA today, looking at a big Friday night slate. So stick around for that tomorrow, and then we will have the week ahead on Saturday. So lots of stuff going on here on the pod and on the website. Not going to do it here for Fantasy NBA today, presented by FanDuel. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
I'll be back Monday.